Should they not be able to gather enough support to get their board of directors to let them continue on supporting a boat? What happens?
Well, the first thing is we don't get wonderful meat snacks up here anymore, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Corporately, you don't want to lose corporate sponsors in the sport. But I think beyond that, emotionally, I've been around the sport for almost 50 years, and I don't think there's ever been anyone, Mark, has loved and respected and cherished as much as Art Alberto and his wife. In the winter, they would get in their motorhome, and not a big fancy motorhome, and drive to Mexico and distribute food and clothing and toys to kids. They're just a wonderful family. It's a wonderful Seattle corporate legacy, and come on, Alberto, come on back, don't leave us.
I think too, we've had corporate sponsors that have enjoyed unlimited hydroplane racing, and they've gone away, and others have stepped in. You know, the Pay Impact folks, and then the Atlas Van Lines folks, and other corporate sponsors have come on board. So
when we come back, and thank you guys, by the way, Dave Williams, and we don't know who was driving the Wahoo yet, I don't think, but thank you to them and the Raceboat Museum for all they've done, and the vintage hydroplanes. But when we come back, we're going back to those fastest boats on the water, the Unlimiteds. We've got heats 3A and 3B still to come.
You're watching the 2015 Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, presented by Hyundai of Kirkland, your official dealer of Seafair, on KIRO 7.
When you have big plumbing problems, you need Superhuman Solutions.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Wait a second, aren't you?
Marshawn Lynch, stop freaking.
Call Beacon.
Beast mode.
What can I do for you?
Oh, I think it's just clogged.
Here's the problem right here. What's next?
I think we're gonna have to take the whole toilet out.
Got it. What's next? You all good here.
So go with Seattle's winning team and go beast mode on your plumbing problems.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
You'll never forget your first NHRA Nitro experience. 300 miles per hour in 4 seconds, 10,000 horsepower. It's the NHRA Northwest Nationals August 7th through 9th at Pacific Raceways in Kent. Kids 12 and under are free. Tickets at nhra.com/tickets.
I'll ride the highway. I'm going my way. I leave a story untold.
He just keeps sending more pictures.
If you're a free-range chicken, you roam free. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Put to work a new Sani 135 30,000-pound excavator with blade, thumb, 3-year warranty for under $100,000. Save 40%. Plus get 0 down, 72-month financing. Kitsap Tractor and Equipment. Why pay more?
See where your bottle cap takes you at discoverpacifico.com.
And it is time to go racing once again. Heat 3A of Unlimited Boat Racing for the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup. And here those boats are the number 7 boat, Graham Trucking 2, Peters and May, the Les Schwab Red Dot boat, Mr. Julio, Old Boy Alberto, and Home Street Bank. The boats in Unlimited Racing Heat 3 of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup.
Heat 3A of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup is presented by GE and is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking.
Boats are on the water with 3.5 minutes until the start. The starter clock is brought to you by J.P. Morgan Chase, a proud sponsor of Seafair. Chase, making it easy for your personal and business banking needs to start and run strong. Temperatures are moving up. We're expecting a high of 90 right now, 82 degrees, and the winds are picking up just a little bit, 8 miles an hour, but the water looks pretty good right now. Here are the drivers in Heat 3A. First of all, Jesse Robertson in Graham Trucking, a good young driver. Tom Thompson in the Peters and May. Scott Lidicote with the Les Schwab team, and our Alexis Smith is with Tommy Thompson.
Yeah, they just left the dock here. U11 Peters and May. You remember the buoys that John Theoret hit in Heat 2A? Just talked to the pit crew over here. They said they actually hit one of those deflated buoys that really slowed them down in that heat. They think that caused them, took away at least a couple places and really messed them up for that run. So they made a few adjustments. They're feeling much better about this one, and they are ready to go.
All right, Alexis. Dan Warren, or make that David Warren, out of a Grand Prix boat and into an unlimited hydroplane. Jimmy Shane and Jimmy King, the two Jimmys battling. Our Chris Francis is with the Shane variety team.
That's right, the one that's won already 2 heat races. No such problems here in the Jimmy Shane pit crew. In fact, I asked around, hey, you guys making any changes, doing anything? Nobody would talk to me about it. They're keeping it close to the vest. In fact, all they said was, we're going to keep it upright. We're going to keep it on the rails here and just get to the final. That's all they want to do.
That's all they have to do, Chris. We are live around the world on KIROTV.com. Inside of 2 minutes, we now check in with the voice of unlimited hydroplane racing. Here again is Mark Allen.
Thank you, Steve. Boats all over the race course. And Chip, I want to ask you a little bit about the water conditions. We don't have much of a chop at all. It's almost glassy. That's a little sticky.
It's a little sticky, but what goes along with that is I think they've let the boats come in from other places on the lake. They bring wakes with them, and that's worse than wind.
Couple of boats coming down the front straightaway. That would be the DiGiulio and the Peters and May going at almost 80 miles an hour.
And we saw a shot of the black Rambo. That's Jesse Robertson. I think there's Jesse right there. I think Jesse is a great talent, much like J. Michael Kelly, but he hasn't had equipment under him yet to show him really what he can do. We're coming up to the critical 1 minute. You really want to be at that exit pin mark, I think, coming to run to the start line at about 10 seconds. So they got to use up some.
Yep, we've got somebody cutting through the infield. I think that would be Scott Lidicote.
And he wants that inside line, and he can come through the infield to get it. But he's got to pass 2 buoys to keep it, because somebody can come by him. If he hasn't passed 2 buoys, he got right in front of him, an inch in front of him.
Right now he has established himself, but he's got 2 boats way ahead of him. As you can see, that would be the Peters and May and the Oberto.
And where are they going to go when they get up there? Because those lanes, the second and third lane, are already occupied, so they're going to have to find a place to go.
And they're at 23 seconds, and they're about to come off. Now, Tom Thompson is going to go way wide. Can't quite see him in our picture, but he's going to be way on the outside with 14, and they're still early.
You know, what happens, Mark, is everybody wants that inside lane. They get up there early, and then they're slow at the start lane. But look at what's coming on the outside. The number 3, the piston-powered engine.
It's going to be Jimmy King, and he's going to lead them across the line. A big 0 on the clock. Looks like they would be legal. And we've got 4 boats going into the south turn. Scott Lidicote on the inside. And next to him, can't quite tell which one that is, but Jesse Robertson is out in lane number 3.
And we just heard that DiGiulio gets a 1 minute penalty for being too slow under the 80-mile-an-hour speed.
Now, no more 80 miles an hour right now. 3/4 of the way up the backstretch on lap number 1. And you've got a great boat race between Scott Lidicote on the inside and the Oberto and Jimmy Shane next to him in lane number 2. He's going to go really wide. He may have a boat in between that we can't see. But right now it's Shane by about 2 boat lengths, but he is really flying the boat as they come down the front straightaway. End of lap number 1. It's Jimmy Shane, Scott Lidicote right behind him, and then Jesse Robertson. And just as quickly as that, your 4th place boat, which is the piston-powered Home Street Bank. You're watching your leader go to the south turn. Everybody through that first turn in the first lap very safely, and that's always a congested area, that first turn.
It is. And Jimmy Shane right now is just going to give him plenty of room, make sure he doesn't give the officials any reason to look twice at him. He just wants to finish. I don't think he would mind that much if he finished second. But again, these points are adding up to the national championship, which he is the defending.
And when they make the turn toward us and we can see them coming down the front straightaway, you're going to see Jesse Robertson in that black Graham Trucking 2 boat. He's right next door, although we can't really see each other. Scott Lidicote in second place, but you got Jesse Robertson trying to track him down, and he's making up ground as they end lap number 2. Shane and the Oberto, a full plus Rooster Tail lead, but it is Jesse Robertson, who's closing in on Scott Liddicoat for second place. That's going to be a great race on the final lap here.
So what Jesse Robertson's going to have to do here on the outside to catch him is find better water. He's got to go a further distance, but he's looking for smooth water to keep his speed up.
Doesn't really have enough room there to cut in and try to get into lane number 2.
Good race for second. Jesse is making ground on Scott Liddicoat.
He's about 2/3 of a rooster tail, about 8 or 9 boat lengths.
He's running out of time.
He's running out of room too, because he's got that outside lane, and it's going to be Jimmy Shane, all Jimmy Shane in Heat 3A. The Alberto crosses the line first. It will be Scott Liddicoat. Jesse Robertson's not going to be able to catch him. He's way too far outside to do so anyway. So Scott Liddicoat in the Les Schwab Red Dot is second, and Jesse Robertson would be third in the Graham Trucking 2. And then it is a long ways back, Chip, to our fourth place boat.
I think I'm going to start calling Jimmy Shane the doctor, because he never does any damage. He very seldom makes a mistake, but he makes the boat go fast. That's what you want in a driver.
There's your fourth place boat. That is Tommy Thompson in the Peters and May, and probably getting pretty tired. Dave Warren in the 12, the Miss DiGiulio.
Well, you know who doesn't get tired is Tom Thompson. Have you ever looked at his arms? If this came down to an arm wrestling contest, it's Tom Thompson.
Yeah.
Nobody close.
All right, some great racing there we saw yet again, and it's been so far really so good for the Alberto boat. Wins every time Jimmy Shane has been on the water, and you know what more could you ask for Art Alberto as we come down and start to approach the final? And if they could win out here today, and of course they still have to race, you can't give anybody any trophy, but what that would mean for Art and his family.
And don't think Jimmy Shane doesn't feel that pressure. He's feeling that pressure, but he's such a cool character. As I said, he makes very few mistakes, and he makes the boat go fast and doesn't get in trouble.
I think I skipped somebody when we were talking about coming across the line in places, although the three finished on the water, finished fourth, and we got given that to Tom Thompson.
The 3, which is the piston-powered boat, he just can't keep it going for a full day. He has great laps, great heats, but he just can't keep it together, heat in and heat out.
And it's unfortunate because he won a heat yesterday, Heat 1A, and the first win for them since 2009.
Yep, but you know, they're not as deep as a lot of these teams. By deep, they don't have as many engines. They don't have as many propellers.
There's just not as many parts available, too.
No, yeah, it's hard. You can't go down to the Allison store.
No, you can't.
Buy a bit.
They closed several years ago.
Did they?
Yeah.
Just a couple years ago. There he is.
One cool customer.
And let's go to Chris, who is watching as the Alberto boat comes into the dock, awaiting Jimmy Shane. Chris?
Yeah, Steve, they're making it look easy, aren't they?
They really
Jimmy,
are.
I think he's probably getting sick of looking at my mug, although every time he says he wins, he's got to be interviewed, so that's not a bad thing. They're really powerful. You know, they weren't so fast earlier in the week. They went in the shop and made some motor adjustments and some propeller adjustments. That was earlier in the week. And Jimmy has said you had to pick up 5 miles an hour, but boy, you have made this weekend look pretty easy thus far.
Yeah, we worked on the boat non-stop between Friday's qualifying session and this morning, and it's really showing. We hit a sweet spot on the boat. It's working really well for us right now. We're really looking forward to getting into this final and showing what the Alberto's got the rest of the day.
Kept it clean, and Larry's over here smiling because he knows there's just one more to go. Guys, back to you.
All right, Chris. Yeah, I can imagine Larry is smiling, and as is everybody else on the team, but still, it's not over yet. Our Alexa Smith is going to be checking in with Scott Liddicoat here with the Red Dot, the Les Schwab team. Are they ready to go? We'll head over to their side of the pits. Alexis, go ahead.
Yeah, let me give him a little tap on the shoulder here, trying to get the helmet off. Scott, congratulations. You had a great start. You got the inside lane. How you feeling after that one?
Yeah, feeling a lot better after that one. Inside lane is so important here, and it's tough. As you can see, it's half the battle right there. So, we'll see what happens now. We got a little motivation going into the final. So, Les Schwab tire boat's running awesome. The crew guys got it running perfect. Just got to have the driver shows up in the final.
And you feeling like the boats are pretty even, so that inside line is pretty much going to be everything,
Yeah,
huh?
they're really even. Probably the most even they've been in years. So inside lane's going to be a big deal.
All right, congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alexis. Chip, is there a problem in some cases? Is there a tendency maybe by teams now to tinker too much? The boats are running really well. Do you go at it and say, we want to take things apart and take a look at them again?
It's a great question. It depends on their driver, and they have to listen to the driver. The driver may come in and say, this thing's perfect, put it on the trailer, wipe it off, leave it alone. Or he may come in and say, I can't drive this thing, it's a mess. But you're out of time to experiment, so then the crew just stands back and throws everything at it. They change everything, and it's kind of a hope and a prayer.
Now, when Chip Hanauer was a champion driver, he could get the crew to don't touch it, put it on the trailer. But what about guys, young guys, Jimmy Shane? I mean, some of these guys haven't been around all that long.
Another great question. I think someone like Jesse Robertson is in that position. He doesn't have the credibility to say, well, the boat's doing this, but I want it to do that. They might look at him and say he doesn't have enough experience. I think that's wrong. Jesse's got great natural ability, but that's really critical, I guess, in football too. The coaches listening to the players, what's working, what's not working. There's got to be that respect and trust.
Mark, when we take these high shots, I love these high wide angles where we see lots of people around as well watching. Here are the pits, here are the drivers, the teams. As we watch this weekend unfold, what are we watching for the sport of unlimited hydroplane racing?
Well, I think we're watching some growth. We've got, in the competition we've seen growth in the competition over the last 2 or 3 years. We've got these boats that we were talking about earlier. Chip and I were trying to choose a winner just for fun. And we looked at each other and we said, it's too hard. It's so hard. So I think that's a growth element right there. Hopefully we can add some races, get a few more races to the circuit. I know they're working on bringing Coeur d'Alene back, and they've got some other things that they'd like to try. And who knows what. The more races you have, the more attractive it's going to be to a boat sponsor. And that is another element where we need some growth.
You know, one of the interesting things, when you look again at those wide shots of the pits have never been more full of different kinds of boats and different activities between wakeboarding and paddleboarding and all the rest. Seafair is not missing a beat with kind of keeping with lots of activities, lots of entertainment for the fans.
And let's call out somebody that I think is responsible for that more than anybody else, and that's a woman by the name of Beth Knox.
Yep.
And remember, she was here when General Motors, this used to be the General Motors Cup, they reneged, they went broke.
Right.
And she had her back up against the wall. But I think Beth Knox and her staff have done a great job keeping Seafair relevant, keeping it modern. And I think having things like, upright paddleboarding, stand-up paddleboarding, wakeboarding, Seafair, I think, is alive and healthy. And we're going to miss Beth.
We will. We will talk to Beth.
This is her swan song.
It really is. She is moving on as the president and CEO and moving on to other challenges. And that will be fun to watch those. But we will miss Beth. I saw her outside the gate here of our position in the start-finish line a little bit earlier in the afternoon. And I just told her, I said, you have been great for this event. We will miss you.
I think we have Alexis down with Jesse Robertson. Oh, we have Chris Francis with Jesse Robertson, a rookie.
You wish it was Alexis Smith.
Yeah, he does. We all do.
All right, Jesse. Hey, I saw you on the outside there. You were a fast boat, and you told me before the race that you had made some adjustments, and you were happy with the way the boat was racing.
Yeah, we're definitely happy with some of the adjustments we made before the start of the day today and testing. And so we're kind of sneaking up on it. We still have some improvements to make, but we'll be there in the final.
And now your teammates getting ready to go, and you guys have been talking to me about the communication between the two of you and how you sort of are coaching each other up a little bit. It's really teamwork until we get to a race where you might have to go against each other.
Yeah.
But tell me about what he's about to face out there and what you guys have been talking about.
It's pretty lumpy all the way around, but that's race conditions. You always got to be prepared for that. It's not qualifying, so I just told him about a little bit of wind coming down the front stretch and just to kind of watch out for that. And other than that, he knows what he's doing.
He knows. You guys know what you're doing. Yeah, Graham Trucking will be around in the final. That's Jesse and Chip. You know about Lumpy. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Did he just call me Lumpy?
No, he talked about Lumpy as far as water.
I think he called me Lumpy.
Okay, I think he did. Here are the results in Heat 3A of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup. There you go. Oberto, Les Schwab Team Red Dot, Graham Trucking 2, the Miss Home Street Bank Peters and May, and Miss DiGiulio. The results of Heat 3A brought to you by Albert Lee Appliance.
Heat 3A of the Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup is presented by GE and is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking.
The Geico fastest lap goes to Jimmy Shane in the Oberto, 138.64 miles per hour, 642 to be exact. And congratulations to the Oberto, Jimmy Shane. You saw him talking a little earlier, describing his run. That's your photo finish, presented by Muckleshoot Casino, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
One more heat to go before we do some championship racing today. That is Heat 3B. We'll have that as Seafair Sunday continues live from Lake Washington.
You're watching the 2015 Albert Lee Appliance Seafair Cup, presented by Ford of Kirkland, your official dealer of Seafair on KIRO 7.
You're still here.
I'm still here.
Phew. What would we do without Jesse Jones?
You heard right. Jesse's back.
I'll be doing the same thing, only better.
Watch him on his new home.
You know, I switched. I'm in KIRO now.
Jesse made the switch, so should you.
Are you going to watch us on KIRO? Oh, you bet. You're awesome.
Jesse Jones on KIRO 7 Eyewitness News.
Came in and did a cool Jesse Jones thing and got her money back. And it was sweet.
All you have to do is just tune in and watch, and then we're good.
Beacon Plumbing is all about the community, from the hydroplanes
And Miss Beacon Plumbing wins the
to helping feed the community and employing the community. From everyone at Beacon Plumbing, thank you, Seattle.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
Attention appliance shoppers. Celebrate summer with Albert Lee Appliance during our Seafair sale, August 8th and 9th. Sizzling hot store-wide deals on the largest selection of major brand appliances in the Northwest. Sale prices celebrated at all 5 locations in Seattle, South Center, Linwood, Bellevue, and Tacoma. Don't miss our largest appliance sale of the